first time seeing Juhi is by the green stream in the countryside, even sitting far away in a cart. But that sweet smile still makes the boy fall into a state of infatuation. I couldn't help but wave my hand at you. And she said the same thing, and she waved. Let's wave goodbye too. I know from the mouths of friends. Turns out she's an artist's daughter. At first, I thought it was just a short meeting. But the next day, when the boy is catching ladybugs in the dung, as always, a familiar figure reappears behind. You're a beautiful and curious face. Do you want this? I ran fast ahead, put the ladybug in front of you, and the moment I saw you laughing, I'm afraid to bow. Do you know the haunted house across the river? What?
Enjoy the vibes.
I know you can take me. Worried about him, I can't even think about the key or question, simply agree constantly until the shadow goes away. Just stood there dumbfounded and laughed innocently. The next morning, Junha waited early at the meeting place for her. Get on the boat. Listen to her next to me talking. You don't respond. Just feel even the air is sweet. But the boat didn't move. It turns out Junha doesn't know how to climb a boat at all. After constant research, the wooden boat began to drift steadily. Just like that, you're both very shy. Came to this famous haunted house through the door tray. Junha plucked up the courage to look inside the house. The next second, he was threatened and ran away. Jui with curiosity came closer. As soon as the door opened, she also screamed and turned and ran away. Of course, they know that it's just a homeless person. But even so, they both screamed at the same time. It looks like that. You can throw away all the bad things in life. Get in the back. I don't know if it's beautiful or just a coincidence. A heavy rain brought the boat of the future back to the quay or shore. They looked at each other. It's just the way the raindrops take a detour to find the pier. Jui quickly twisted my leg. I carry you. Hurry up and look at the rain in the sky. After a little hesitation, Julie still decided to bend over this back. The sound of the rain echoing knocked out the rice paddies of the trembling earth. You carry her like a beautiful picture. Hiding in a house. Junha squeezed out the jacket and gave it to Cho Juhi. I see you didn't refuse. I came back again laughing. After the rain stopped, Junha hugged a watermelon from the field. After parting, he gave Cho Juhi. This moment, the breeze blended with the fragrance of the earth gently after stroking two young faces. Happy laughter in the watermelon garden. With the rainbow quietly appearing behind. Everything is so romantic. You must be heavy. It's not heavy at all. The weight of you. It doesn't matter if you go to Seoul. Lying is not lying. Lie not lie. The moon's light falling on the fireflies also began to shine. She likes him and lets him sit on the bridge. And I'm going into the river. Suddenly slipped fireflies, scattered raw. In a moment, the light shimmered everywhere, illuminating Juhi's surprised and delighted face. This moment, you get the most beautiful gift of your life. And when you take it, fireflies that the boy carefully brought. But I don't know. Boy, silently become a light in your heart. As he neared landing, Jui looked at his grandfather waiting on the shore. She looked at Junha standing in front of her. You know that separation is coming. So she took off her necklace. You gently stand up. She wears it around Junha's neck. Jui was carried away by the servant. Junha's eyes still didn't want to leave until Jui's grandfather stood in front of him. After a loud slap, bringing you back to reality. A large disparity of status. But this feeling of similarity can only be hidden in the heart. But the memory is often. It will get stronger over time. That day, my friend Tasu came to ask him to write a letter to AI. My fiancé. Tasu told Junha, this is the marriage your father arranged himself when you were little, even though you've never met. But surely she's also a shallow girl. When finished, put a picture on the table. And when you look at the picture, Junha is on the spot. That's the Jui I've always wanted, even though it's painful. But Junha has a lot to say. Jui, so when holding the pen, everything is clearly on the page. Tasu very satisfied, and especially show off his skills Cho Junha. Tasu doesn't know at the moment. Junha Sao can laugh to express his thanks. A few days later, Tasu came to Junha to invite him to a concert. When I saw the girl appear, Junha is excited to stand up with a guy with a firecracker. Beautiful melody echoing through the hall. Junha looked ahead in bewilderment. Brilliant image under the lights. I can't help but make you a little self-conscious. When the show was over, He looked away, but still not moving forward. There are two perfectly meshed families. However, Jui saw you coming. I only respond with a bright smile. Until Jui is taken out by the crowd, the sadness comes again. Jun-ha sitting alone on a bench outside the hall. A moment later, suddenly I saw a familiar figure running towards the performance hall. I stood up again, laughing stupidly. Of course you know that girl came back for you. One search turned. The two finally stopped to welcome the next meeting. That day and night will remember. Eyes touching each other. I put the flowers forward and prepared countless introductory sentences at the meeting. Greetings. My feet are completely gone. The cold too. Yeah, your performance was great. They're still waiting for you.
Welcome to the Shin Music channel. Enjoy the
That
vibes.
firefly is healthy. It's as healthy as you. Even if it's just a few short sentences. But Jun-ha is still excited as a child. He jumps up in excitement. Even the pain of falling. It also seems to be sweet. Jun-ha still helps Taesu write letters. The friendship of two people from the few words before has now become nothing is left unsaid. That day at the morning exercise as Taesu suddenly said she wanted to run with her eyes closed. Hold my hand and invited him to take folk dance lessons tonight. I made an appointment to meet Jui there. It was all my idea. I want to meet you through an entertainment program. There are a lot of girls there. You find a girl too. So Junha and Jui meet again. After a simple greeting, Taesu in turn introduces the two doesn't know. Junha and Jui have known each other for a long time. And Jui doesn't know. It turns out that Junha and Taesu are such close friends. The dance lesson begins. Jui looked away at Junha, softly said, I miss you so much. You too. Class barriers giant. To make love, this can only happen cautiously. And the vagaries, not sure about the future, in this moment, at least temporarily put it aside. But back to reality. I watched Taesu and Jui say goodbye. Take them out of sight. I feel in my heart that the seven hopes are stronger. Take Jui to the door. Taesu turned and left. Take the stairs in front of you. Jui's footsteps are slowing down. She looked back full of hope. And just as you're about to ring the doorbell, the street light at the door suddenly went dark. You stare intently. You think it's just an accident. So you're going to ring the bell again. Flashing lights. Jui slowly turned his head and looked down in the direction of the street familiar silhouette. Joy filled my cheeks. She threw the bag in her hands, running fast forward. And then there's a big hug between them. There are brilliant confessions. There's only one yellow streetlight. And the vibrations understood in each other's hearts. That day, Taesu told Junha. Jui hasn't replied to him in days, and he seems to have liked Juhi. I am not a faithful man from beginning to end, but I really liked her. And the next day, Taesu went looking for Jui. He confessed his love to her and kissed her on the forehead. He just turned and fell to the ground. It's weird. Is it because I'm too tall? Cassie's confession made Jui fall into a choice of suffering. She loves Junha deeply, but we can't fight prejudice. The class can't hurt Taesu. Nice boy Taesu this. Taesu is very kind. Because it's so kind. That's how it got worse. To face the tease of fate, the only way Jui could think of. No one meets anymore. Maybe that won't hurt the AI. The light below is flashing again. Juhi in the room was drenched in the corners of her eyes. She tries not to look outside, but it can be controlled. Looking at the firefly she had carefully kept. But love doesn't work. They will also be disgruntled in their hearts. Has visited Juhi several times, but it's not fun in the end. Until this day, he's the same as always, standing firmly under the streetlights in the heavy rain. You idiot, it's raining like this. You want to be struck by lightning. Junha goes forward trying to keep this hard love, but Jui forcefully removed Ro and then turned his back. The sound of the raindrops. The rain broke Junha's heart. It wasn't long before Jui left, but came back. She seems determined, but it's also suffering. She sobs against Junha's shoulder. My heart is finally soft. After a long time there was no reply. Taesu understood what Jui meant. He told Junha, Later, he planned to write his own letter and confessed that the previous letters were all written by Jung-ha. I don't know if I'm paying attention or just being naive. And he specifically emphasized that this is a great opportunity. I heard she was in the rain and very sick. In the hospital, Jui opened her eyes and saw Junha standing next to her. She covered her mouth with her feet. Her eyes laughed into a crescent moon. It's a simple conversation. Junha told Jui he planned to tell Taesoo the truth. He stood up and kissed Jui on the cheek. And when you're about to leave, there was a noise outside the room. You just have to hide in the next hospital bed. He is the father of Taesoo. When you asked about your health, Junha stood up and tried to sneak away, too nervous to open the wrong door. Sorry, I went to the wrong room. Not this one. Very soon, Jung-ha met Taesoo and told him the truth about everything. At the same time, clench his hand and punch himself. But Taesoo laughed and left. I just haven't taken a few steps. Fell to the ground again. He stood up and told Jung-ha, "Don't let my father see that necklace. Something big's going to happen. That necklace is my father's." It was given to Joohee. Taesoo understood everything for a long time. In choosing between love and friendship, he chose to sacrifice for others. Not only that, he even let Jung-ha keep writing to Cho-Jui under my name. Both families will not find out. Short winter vacation only. 2 months despite frequent correspondence. But the deep nostalgia still haunts Jung-ha and Joohee. And just before the day Joohee was about to go down to the letter that doesn't understand his return to Father Taeseo's hands. They really have feelings for each other. So, I gave up. Before Taesoo finished speaking, I pulled out my belt, hit every ROI hard on him. While Juju is full of joy, you can meet Junha. After the opening, Taesoo sitting opposite Junha, learn according to the father's appearance to draw the belt. He told Jung-ha, "It's not the belt, it's the ROI. My father didn't actually want to hit me. How should I punish him if I want to beat him? Slowly torture him to death. Or slowly let it starve. Kill it. Good idea." Junha doesn't know. Now the belt is in your hand. Taesoo is actually pointing at himself. He told Junha to take good care of Jui. Then turn your back and leave. Just left a suspicious Junha in Taeseo's eyes. My strength and threat. That made him a barrier between Junha and Joohee. And for friends and lovers, he's ready to face death. When Junha anxiously came to, is hanging high in the corner. Junha immediately rushed forward, trying to lift up. He called out Taesoo's name. "Your voice is almost choked. Someone's dying. I told you to kill the belt, not yourself. Don't die. Don't die. Don't die, you useless. Breathe, you idiot. Breathe." Thanks to the timely discovery, Taesoo was successfully saved. But after this, Junha, who was blaming himself, suddenly understood. You shouldn't be so selfish. You should let go. Maybe that's the best result right now. I looked at Jui from a distance, standing in front of the hospital bed with red eyes, waiting for her to come back. The smile was as bright as at the beginning. She also smiled Theo. I just don't know. When she takes her eyes off, that bright smile can be maintained. The following are tears that are hard to control, seizures that can be controlled, along with a heartbreaking determination. And when Jui comes back again, the place was completely empty. There's just a necklace quietly hanging on the doorknob. Joohee's heart suddenly tightened. She ran out of the hospital. I ran out of the hospital, but I don't know when. There's a long line of people outside who come in. The sea of people. How can you find someone to hide from you? Until Taesoo is discharged, Jui just knew it from his mouth. Junha has joined the army. Before the train shifts the gear, Jui gliding through the crowd, eyes trying to find each car. Last at a carriage window, you see that familiar shape. This moment tears are pouring down. She knocked on the window and called out his name. Junha. Junha. Junha, 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 you have to live again. Junha, I must live again. Junha, to live back. Junha, Junha, quickly answer me. Junha is silent. There's only words that sound in your ears. It makes my heart contract. The train whistles and start moving slowly, and until now I've been looking out the window. He looked at the girl chasing him with tears in her eyes. Strong emotions in my heart like a flood breaking. Pushing low towards Juju is getting further and further away. Juju, Junha, Juju. Junha train speed is getting faster. The strong wind crashed into Junha's face. I looked at the necklace on my hand. This time, I don't know if I'll see you again or not. The war was much more intense than imagined. Junha leaned on that necklace. In the rain of bombs and bullets, you were lucky to survive. But as soon as we're leaving, he found out again. My necklace fell on the battlefield. And to get that necklace back, he's back on the battlefield. But that's why he got shot. Forever losing the light in the restaurant. Jui slowly stood up from her chair. The familiar face that she longed for day and night, after years of waiting, appeared again in front of me. You two seem calm, but actually the lake, the soul in the opposite moment, like a rock filling the sea. I've raised thousands of waves. Why not get married? You're married. I've got a lot to tell you. We met, but couldn't think of it. Girl playing the piano. Follow Junha's eyes, but the table is empty. Junha doesn't know. The piano girl you've practiced countless times. It was early a few minutes ago. It was taken by a child behind you. She looks like my old self.
Enjoy the vibes.
That's right. It's a bad feeling. Jui hands out in front of Junha, but he didn't have any expression. Keep on saying those silly words. Cover your mouth with terror. Jui, heartbroken, turned his head to the side. She wants to try to restrain, but Junha's radiant smile, it made her chin unable not to twitch. Along with the tears, the voice also became choked. What do you look like now? It looks very healthy, but I want to see you happier. I'm crying now. I can't see your tears. Calmness suddenly becomes panic. Realize that blindness has been discovered. Junha got up and wanted to leave, but the chair tripped on the ground. Jui slowly approached to help Junha stand up gently. I could have succeeded. I came here to practice a lot last night. Junha, take out that necklace. Give it back to the real owner. But Jui took the necklace, put it on Junha's neck again. In your heart, this chain forever belongs to the happy boy on the boat. Not long after, Jui is married to Tetsu. It's just in that beautiful wedding photo. The bride was full of tears. Many years later, Yugi, take Theo to the river where they met. In a moment of ambiguity, once again, you cross the river with Discover with me again. With you under the moonlight. Enjoy the fireflies. But when you get back to reality, when I turned around, I saw Junha's partner standing behind me. A small square box covered in white cloth. Actually, Junha got married after she got married. He also has a son.